Where do you drive in from?
Wilmington.
From Minnetonka.
Yeah. Well,
So
when I left this morning, I got on the
Are
freeway
you
and I
going to do
said,
anything
oh,
on the computer?
shit,
No.
I should have checked the freeway.
Just,
But I already turned on onto the ramp. I can go back.
So,
Stop.
just have you make sure that the microphone can pick you up here.
I got off at the
I'll probably just sit here.
six or eight.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
There's
for
a
you.
bridge between 35W that was 86.
Make sure that the camera's on.
Cars
so
went
the
underneath that.
microphone-
It was driving too fast, and it's just all ice. And then one guy went off the ditch, and everybody else.
All right.
Real time.
Gone out.
Yep, yeah, it takes about a minute.
70 cars.
So yeah, if you want to get, let me just text the Hudson people, and then I'll let you know when we're good to go.
Awesome. Morning, Josh.
Morning, how are you?
I'm well, and you?
I'm sick of the snow. But we're good.
Well, 80 degrees will be here soon enough.
That's true. Can't wait.
Me either. Boat season.
29 days till spring.
29 days. Nice.
Not that you're counting or anything.
No.
I still don't want to say go to.
That's okay.
Well, last year we had a snowstorm in like in May, wasn't it? Didn't we have?
In April and
Yeah, it was
May.
end of April. So I got a car and had ball tires. I'm like, I'll be fine. And then it snowed.
Not so good.
It's going to be over.
Had to buy tires, huh?
Yeah.
For crash car, one of the two.
No, I think I just parked it for a little while. Would have been so well.
Yeah, I'm kind of amazed I got an all-wheel car this year. And last year it was an old Mercedes that was rear-wheel drive, and I'm just blown away by the difference.
Yeah.
I'll let you know when you're good to go.
Okay.
Should be just a minute.
All right. Thank you.
Love these technologies.
You came over you live in Minnetonka,
Right.
do you? What part of Minnetonka?
Off the 7 and 101. Near the high school. That would be the closest landmark.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Target there.
Yeah. Yeah, I had an aunt who lived kind of right on the Hopkins Minnetonka border on Oakvale Road there,
Oh, sure.
kind of by the Hopkins house. And that Target we had to go there every time we go see her.
Well, yeah. You're not spending money at Target. You're just not living life, right?
Yeah.
The worst trip to Target that we ever had, my wife wanted printer paper. So I said, oh, okay. $400 later.
Okay. I believe you're good to go.
Alrighty. And so they'll text here if
They will, yep, they'll text this phone. Yes, you can go ahead and text the phone number on the board on the left side of the classroom if you have any questions.
Good morning. My name is Jay Zabel. I'm a dispatcher with Arnie Enterprises out of Mankato. And we're a small veteran-owned company. Right now we have 28 trucks. As of next week, we'll have 2 more new trucks. We just got, we run primarily Volvos and Macs. And we're going to have a couple Kenworths, brand new Kenworths coming in next week. So we're looking at those different, a different line of trucks to see if that works for us. But generally what happens is that we have drivers that do construction work, and then we have guys that are over the road. And the construction guys generally will get a Mac because they have a smaller sleeper. And the senior drivers will get the Volvos and the over the road drivers because of the larger sleeper. And so that's one of the things that is they do with our company is they try and recognize guys who come in and who stay and are a part of the company for a length of time. We do a lot of from about May until generally September or October, we will do milling and hauling and different construction jobs. And then it generally in September, then we start hauling ag line. And it's a real opportune time because with the ag line, what happens is it's really long days. It's a lot of work, but a guy can make a lot of money in a hurry that time of year. Because generally, what ag lime, what happens with that is that it's the lime is an alkali substance, and by putting it on the fields, what it does is it helps to balance the pH of the field, the soil, and the crops will grow better. And so what we do is we contract with different co-ops, and then they will talk with farmers, and we do some direct sales as well. But we will be going with that from generally September until there's too much snow, generally around Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving, what happens is that drivers either take the winter off, which we have a number of drivers that do that, or they go over the road. And we do keep some over-the-road drivers going over the summer as well. Generally, about a half dozen or more will stay on over the road all summer, which is a good time for those over-the-road drivers as well, because there's not a lot of competition out there as far as with our company, and so they can log a lot of miles. We generally, with our over-the-road drivers, we generally have our drivers home every weekend. Unless the driver opts to stay out over the weekend, what we will do is plan to have you home Friday night or Saturday morning, and then go out again either Sunday night or Monday morning. So, but it's a policy that to try and help ease the time issues as far as family and things like that. If you're able to come home and see your family every weekend, it generally makes it easier to stay out over the road during the week, and less issues there. The construction guys will, depending on the time of the season and how much work there is, will generally work 6 days a week over the summer. A lot of Saturdays. And what will happen with construction is we very rarely will have a rain day. Sometimes with construction you'll deal with a lot of rain. Like last year, there was a lot of rain. But what we do at that point is we have different stockpiles of lime around the state in northern Iowa, and we will deliver to those stockpiles so that we have it ready to go when the lime season starts in the fall.
Is the equipment side dump? Is it back dump, slide dump?
No, we have bellies and side dumps.
Oh, okay.
So we don't have any that raise up. But we do. We have a system that was actually invented by our owner for the ag lime, and it's a conveyor system. And what happens is that you back up over the conveyor system, and you drop your lime onto the conveyor, and it'll take it up into the Terrigator, and it saves a lot of time. It makes things a lot easier as far as the whole process. And it was a brainchild of Bruce, one of our owners.
And what kind of time is it to fill with the line?
Pardon?
How many, 20 minutes, a half hour for the line? The load?
Generally not that long. The conveyor works pretty slick. So depending how many trucks have to load, but yeah, it works pretty quickly. So like I had mentioned before, we're a small veteran-owned company. The owner, Bruce, was in the Navy during Vietnam, and his son is also the vice president of the company, and he runs it in the winter while Bruce is snowbirding down in Arizona. So, again, Arizona. So.
There's a theme there.
Pardon?
There's a theme here.
Yeah. We have our benefit package is generally we have a contribution toward medical insurance, and it's $400 a month. And for the younger guys, it works out good because it pretty much pays their health insurance. As guys get older, it doesn't pay quite the whole thing, but it certainly eases the pain. You know, and there's been a rather significant increase in the cost of medical insurance, so it's become, I think, more of a good commodity to have. What we do is, rather than paying for like holidays during the year, because a lot of times you can't guarantee as a driver that you're going to be off on every holiday. And so rather than paying those hours during the holiday, what we do is we pay between Christmas and New Year's. And you get that week off, except for we'll have a safety meeting one day in there, but you get the rest of the week off between the holidays and paid. And that's one of the benefits. And then also we have vacation. You get a week after a year, 2 weeks after 2 years, 3 weeks after 5 years. We also have a life insurance policy. It's a small one that is paid by the company, and you can opt to make a contribution and increase that. We have a simple retirement program where it's matching for up to 3% of your income, and you can choose to deposit more than that if you'd like to put a little extra money away. But it actually, surprisingly, the 3% adds up fairly quickly when they're matching. So it's another good thing that can help you to get set up for when you're not driving anymore. So, any questions so far?
Does the truck come home with you?
No, you bring it to the yard.
It's like a dump truck, or is that what you're saying?
No, they're all.
Oh, they're all
Yeah, they're all tractor trailers.
tractor trailers, so tankers type stuff too? Or?
No, just our only over the road is 53-foot dry vans. We don't have any flatbeds, no reefers,
Okay.
nothing like that. So it's pretty straightforward. Translucent roofs, and we do an awful lot of work for like Monsanto, hauling seed.
Okay.
And I've learned a lot about seed. There's the technology of that is really something else. They have a variety of I think it's seed corn that has larvae in it. And so there's a freeze protect on it when you deliver it, and if those larvae die, then it makes the trailer basically worthless.
Oh, sure.
So
So
we
you drive your tractor trailer onto the thing, and it lifts you up and dumps
for the line.
for whatever.
No, you with a bottom dump,
Oh, I
and
see.
then
Okay.
the line goes onto the conveyor, and the conveyor takes it out.
Sure.
So over the road, we don't really go to California, Oregon, or Washington. We don't generally go to New York. We'll go to Florida once in a great while, and once in a while, what we'll do one driver last year had family down by Atlanta, and what we did is we set him up where he had a load going down to Lithia Springs, Georgia, and he was able to spend several days in Atlanta with his family using his vacation, and then at the end, we found a load coming out of that area, bringing him back this way. So, it's being a smaller company, we can do certain things like that to benefit the drivers. Oop. Okay, somebody sent a text here and it disappeared on me. Here we go. Oh, crap. If you could resend that message, it disappeared off the screen, and you have to have a thumb identification in order to open it up. So I'll have to catch it as it opens. If you could do that again, please. There's donuts if you'd like. Anybody? Can't send them over to Wisconsin, but we have plenty there. So.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any other questions at this time?
I do.
Go ahead.
Now, with the dry van work, is that drop and hook? How does that work?
Nope. No, it's just all delivery.
And they offload, or we offload?
No, it's no touch.
It is
99% of the loads are no touch.
Okay.
So, once in a while you'll get where you'll have to deliver corn to maybe some guy in the middle of North Dakota, You know, I may have to pallet jack it to the back of the trailer for them, some things like that. You know, but generally it's no touch, and you get compensated if you do have to help them.
And there is accessorial pay.
Yeah. Yep. Our pay is set up on a percentage basis, and what you do is you get paid a percentage of what the truck generates, anywhere between 23 and 29%, depending on your ability to drive, your experience. You know, our drivers will. You're closing. I did.
Okay.
It hated my thumbprint.
Let's see. All right, so no new text messages. Oh, wait, there we go.
Yeah. Okay, I was just actually just starting to talk about the pay, so and that was what the text was. What are the requirements in pay? We of course Class A, because we don't do any Class B hauling at all. So you have to have a Class A license. We encourage you to get your tanker and your hazmat endorsements, which as a driver is only going to benefit you. One example, we had a load that came out of Dallas, Texas a couple weeks ago, a hazmat load going up to, I believe it was in Nebraska somewhere, and that paid almost $4,000 for the load because it was hazmat.
Mhm.
You know, so it's a great benefit to a driver to have those endorsements, and we really encourage drivers to get those when they drive for us. And, you know, and you might think with a dry van that you don't need a tanker endorsement, but with the tanker endorsement, you can haul, you know, smaller liquid containers, you know, 100 gallons and things like that. And we do a certain number of that as well. And generally, like I said, we do.
Size of the crate and
Yeah, yeah, and that would be where your tanker endorsement would come into play. We primarily work in the Midwest. Like I had mentioned before, we don't do much in the East Coast with New York, just because of requirements and permits and things like that. We do occasionally get down south. We have a guy that's unloading in Lithia Springs, Georgia this morning. We have another that's unloading in Dallas. You know, and then we try and find a load back up this way and try and get them home in time to have the weekend off. So sometimes it's a little bit of work. And if a driver is really desiring to make a little extra money and wants to bump their compensation a little bit, you know, you certainly can stay out over the weekends. And like we have one guy who doesn't have a girlfriend, doesn't have a family. He stays out a lot of weekends, but the guy makes great money doing it. You know, because you can take a long load. You get somewhere down south, you can take a long load, and you can, you know, do a 1,200-mile load when you'd be sitting at home, and it's gonna help you as far as your pay for the week. So we pay weekly by EFT. So, you know, it's supposed to be on Monday. A lot of guys get their checks on Saturday in the bank, which is a nice feature. And the owner set it up where it's supposed to be Monday so that you have money to pay your bills, so you're not partying it away on the weekends. But it seems to show up on Saturdays a lot. So, any other questions so far? I'm trying to think if I'm missing something here. We're, like I mentioned, we're located in Mankato. We do a lot of work with like direct transport out of Fargo, and which incidentally, ironically, the owner is a very close friend of mine. Used to ride motorcycles with him, but there's donuts there if you'd like.
Oh, good, thanks.
All right.
so with are these trucks governed?
Yes, 65 miles an hour.
65.
Yeah, and the owner gets an alarm on his cell phone if you somehow are able to get yourself up over 70. And then he calls us and wonders why you're going 70 miles an hour. So our service animals have, and you know, actually with the ADA, if somebody has a service animal, we cannot prevent them from bringing that service animal with them in the truck. I mean, it's, you know, it's the law with the Americans with Disabilities Act.
What about just a pet?
They generally discourage that. We haven't had anybody really push the issue. you know, some guys like to have a dog along, which I think is, in my mind, is a good thing. You know, it offers companionship, it offers protection. Like we did a driver a couple of weeks ago, forgot to lock his doors, and he was down in Walcott in Iowa. He woke up and there was a lot lizard sitting in his passenger seat.
Oh, nice.
It's kind of nice to have an alarm system of some kind, which they provide. But it says, do you do more training? And yes, we do. What we'll do is, let's say, well, generally what we try and do, if we can, is try and start new people when the construction season is taking place, because you're more local at that point, and we can send you out with somebody. On the over-the-road stuff, occasionally we will send somebody out for a day or two, or try and find some local loads, and run it that way. So let's see. But with the training, yeah, we will train somebody, and we will take the time to make sure that when they get out on the road, because there's nothing worse than getting out on the road and not knowing by any standards what you're supposed to be doing. You know, because there's a lot of you know, innuendos with every company that are different. You know, and if we hire a guy, even an experienced guy from another company, there's a learning curve that takes place. You know, because what we'll do is, somebody's out on the road, we will generally help route them for the most efficient route. We will help them with fuel stops. And, you know, some guys have driven for companies where what you did is you got your load and you drove wherever you wanted and you fueled up wherever you wanted. And one of the advantages of having the fuel stops is that we are able to save some money that way by finding a more reasonably priced gas stop or a fuel stop. And as well, if you know, if a guy hasn't had a shower for a couple days and wants to know where a shower is, we can look it up and we can find, you know, a truck stop that has a shower. And you know, a lot of them will offer free showers if you fill up, so it works out okay. Any other questions? Got your 81 hat on again today? Should have known. So we try and keep everybody on the road over the winter. That's over the road. We try and keep all our trucks on the road. You know, so present time we have availability of 3 drivers that we could hire right now. The timing is coming up where the construction season should be starting in a month and a half to 2 months. But for the right person, you know, we would put somebody over the road and do some training with them and get them out and about. And our drivers generally, if a guy comes in, doesn't really set the world on fire, works what he needs to, and doesn't really push the issue, a driver can make $50,000 a year. You know, we do have 1 or 2 drivers that make $90,000, but they work. You know, they drive 3,500 miles a week. They're efficient. You know, because one of the big things with like the electronic logs and stuff is it's different than the old days where you could drive from, you know, Bismarck to Green Bay and fudge your logs. You know, those days are gone. Now you're being tracked, and you have to watch your hours pretty closely. But a driver who's efficient with their hours can still figure a way to make those, you know, those long runs and to make money doing it. You know, and one of the big things is just getting up in the morning. You know, a driver who's on the road at 6 a.m. is going to make more money than the driver that hits the road at 8 a.m. You know, simply because he's probably going to get 2 or 3 more loads that week, because he's going to be offloaded and reloaded on a load that another guy might miss his appointment, or, you know, he might get to the receiver too late to get unloaded that day, has to wait till the next morning. You know, so there's a lot of things that a learning curve that goes with that, as well as learning how to use your time in a way to make yourself more profitable and to be able to make that living that everybody deserves. You know, it's not an easy job. It's a good job, but there's work involved with it, you know, in every facet. And so you should be compensated, and you should be compensated fairly for what you do. And I feel that our company is a company that does do that that rewards the drivers who are, there's safety bonuses involved, different things like that. So we have some applications here if somebody's interested in applying. There's some brochures there, some pens, some business cards. And like I said, we have three slots available for drivers right now that we're looking to fill. We had an over-the-road driver that unfortunately got an abscess in his leg. He's diabetic, so he's going to have to retire. And so we need to fill an over-the-road spot. We'll have, several construction slots open in a month and a half. So, yes, sir.
Those construction slots, are those like a home daily thing or still out over the road?
Some are home daily,
Okay.
and others you might stay out a couple days at a time.
All right.
And once in a great while there might be a job that's a ways away where you might stay out 5 days.
Okay.
But there's a certain degree of
So there's
discretion.
more local aspect to the construction side then?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We might, out of state would be maybe somewhere in South Dakota or Northwood, Iowa. We don't go much beyond that.
So what does the construction entail? I mean, what all is involved with it?
Well, we
Besides
assist.
driving the truck, I mean,
Yeah, we assist with road construction projects, milling, different things like that. We don't generally do a lot of like sand hauling, but we'll haul asphalt, things like that. And the nice thing about a lot of those jobs is that they're prevailing wage jobs. So even though you're not a union driver, you get paid union scale when you're doing those jobs. And sometimes that can be as much as $10 an hour more than you would make if you were not doing a prevailing wage job. So, that's a way of also banking some pretty significant money over the course of the summer, is if you get on several of these prevailing wage jobs, you're able to make an extra income. So that was my phone, I guess. But is there any other thoughts or questions anybody has to this point? You must be about done, huh? Because you were here last month when I was here.
yeah,
So,
test tomorrow.
really?
Yeah.
Awesome. Good luck to you. So, is there anybody else that's just about done? You said you're just about finished?
Getting there, yeah, getting to the testing.
You're almost done?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Fantastic.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Cool. So you guys are going to get out there and do it, huh? One of the things that what's that?
That's the plan.
Yeah. One of the things that with the trucking industry that I think is advantageous, and it may take some time for the adjustment, is that it seems that it's not a job that a lot of millennials are real interested in. And as a result, a lot of truck drivers are second career guys, that come in a little later. But, sooner or later there's going to be an adjustment. And what's going to happen is it's going to benefit the drivers financially, where, freight is going to be more expensive and loads will cost more and the drivers will make more money that way. There's been a little bit of a shift that way, and it kind of ebbs and flows yet, but I think at some point it's going to come to the point where there's going to be such a shortage of drivers that the freight rates are going to come up to make it more attractive. And whether millennials will decide they want to do that or not, or whether it'll be something that'll be picked up by people that are, second career kind of people is the question. There's a lot of jobs that millennials just really don't gravitate toward, and for some reason this seems to be one of them. But it creates a lot of opportunity. Maybe somebody's a retired military guy, maybe somebody worked in another job. Maybe somebody was injured at another job, and it offers a great opportunity for people. And like I'd mentioned earlier, it's a job where you can go out the first year and make $50,000. Which you would think would be really attractive to some 18, 19-year-old kid, 21-year-old kid who doesn't really have any connections or, a direction in their life. You'd think that'd be is the greatest thing since sliced bread, but for some reason in our society it's not. So.
You have to get out of mom's basement.
Right. Yeah, have to work. So again, I'm from R&E Enterprises in Mankato, Minnesota. Like I had said earlier, we have 28 trucks, and we're 3 drivers short right now. So if you're looking for an opportunity, we have some opportunities, and as I'd mentioned, there's applications, and we would love to talk to you guys. We have
Do you have dedicated lanes? Do you have?
No.
In the regional lane zone, right?
Yeah, we do have some local carriers, All American Foods, that we work with, where we do loads for them. But as far as a dedicated every week kind of thing, we don't.
Okay.
We don't do any of that. And one of the reasons is because, you know, if we got a guy who's doing a $600 run, you know, let's say to go to the La Crosse every week for $600,
Right.
and we have an $1,800 load going to Dallas, and that guy is aced out of that opportunity to take that load. You know, so it's a way of making sure that our drivers are making more money that way.
Sure.
So,
I know a guy that drives for you guys I used to work with.
really,
Brad, the old guy.
Brad Ludwig?
Yeah. I played, he's in my pool league. I played with him before every Sunday when he came.
Is that right?
Every Sunday, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't want to take off for a load a couple weeks ago on Sunday night because he had pool league.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really do anything. He don't really drink or nothing. He just plays. He loves his school.
that's right. You're from Mankato, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to work with him over in Wasika Brown Printing back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a rotten thing when that place closed.
Yeah, I think he got out of there before they closed.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I left there in 2010. So.
Ah,
And he left after me.
yeah. He's a good driver.
Yeah.
So he's very efficient.
He came to be in school.
Yeah. He, and then we have Marcus Gerhardt was a graduate here. Sean Hain, who just graduated from here about 3 months ago, is working for us. He's somewhere down in Iowa right now. He's a very efficient driver. And let's see, Doug Landwehr graduated from here. So we've got quite a number of guys that graduated from this school that are working for us and doing a nice job. So I give credit to this school because these guys were well prepared and ready to step in and make some money, which is what it's really all about. So, any thoughts, questions? So, are you from down around Mankato?
No.
You look extremely familiar for some reason, and I don't know why.
Up by Forest Lake.
Forest Lake? Yeah. I don't get up there very often, so.
Did you go to the post office recently?
The post office?
What? I took a look up.
Oh, did you?
So-
Sorry, you did.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys coming today. I'll be around here for a while to talk to you if you want to chat a little bit privately. And for you fellows that are in Wisconsin, I hope that to hear from you guys as well. So thank you again. Grab a donut on the way out. There's some beverages there. And hopefully I'll see some of you guys down in Mankato. So thank you very much.
Yeah. No, you actually do that. So since that one thing means that I got there. Yeah, I do it. But I mean, I did not. Okay. So they let you practice? Yeah. Okay. So I just talked to Pat. Added up. So did they have you have it by yourself? Yeah. Okay.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
So are you hanging around with those guys? Or?
I know a couple guys that ride, and then
How long did you like an hour?
this weekend there was like a benefit party for one of the guys. He was in the wrong car at the wrong time. One of the deals.
Ah. So it's raising money to get on there.
He's out
Oh, yes.
for like lawyer fees and shit. The guy had like stolen property in the car or something.
Oh. Certainly not his, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure they both were involved. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jay, thank you.
Oh, likewise.
Congratulations.
Likewise.
Thank you.
You bet. So have you lived in Mankato a long time?
I've been living in Mankato since 2002.
2002.
Yeah.
I think I was about 17 when I got there. I'm done before. I went to East,
So you probably know, I did foster care for years and years. You probably would know somebody that is in my house at the same time.
I know some people come to the hospital. I don't know. Nobody got in the boat.
Yeah. For a while, I was getting a lot of Sudanese kids.
I know this kid,
What's his name?
Steve and, another one, I think he's one of them keep going in and out of jail now.
Civic. I'm trying to think of his brother's name. His brother was one around the bank.
Oh, the one that tall one.
Yeah.
The tall one, what's his name?
Oh, jeez. Oh,
I know his name.
yeah.
The tall kid, he's that.
Yeah.
And he used to play basketball good, he got a full scholarship and he pulled all that.
Hey, scholarship to that somewhere down in Texas.
Yeah,
Didn't
yeah. Yeah, he pulled it all up. Yeah, he won the tall.
he? It's really good. What part of Cleveland are you in?
Yeah.
I leave like I now leave about 3 days. But for a while I leave to Eastport Farm.
Eastport?
Yeah, I leave there for a while.
That could be an exciting place.
Yeah, it's on my favorite one. Yeah. And I worked the whole, I worked the whole, I came, work my respect when I came.
Yeah.
And before that, I was driving a boat
Unfortunately.
I was a appointment driver for the food. When they opened,
Which one?
and then from there we got back to the home, and then I went to the guy can't go home. Yeah. This bag was really like,
Where are you? That's 120 grand.
No, my son sent me.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, so paying paid for schools.
And the guy that was back.
Yeah, he does. He was in the yard at the same time. Everybody came the same day.
Was that right?
Yeah. He took a test last week. And that weekend, driving.
How you gonna cry? You can't
Yeah. I'll see you guys every Sunday. But I have my team. Last Sunday we actually played basketball.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. So it looked like that.
Is that right?
Yeah. They got it. I mean, it was like 160 to 140.
I came in late, I got out of the drive.
Oh.
How you doing? How was so you just kind of out of Vancouver?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, we actually have probably a half dozen people from the Twin Cities that come down.
Okay.
And like over the road. Like one guy, Marcus, comes down Monday morning.
Yeah.
And then goes home, spends the weekend.
Okay.
But he lives in Frey.
Okay.
But yeah, we have a gal that lives in Burnsville. He comes down.
So this company's all over the road?
Yeah, they are. And the construction drivers, some of those guys go home.
Yeah.
So it can be a lot of company at that point.
Yeah.
And the over the road guys.
Yeah.
Not a terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
You live up here?
I do. You know, regional, you know what I'm saying? Where you maybe now every day, you know.
Uh-huh.
If I have small kids,
I understand.
I know that's a tough thing to do, especially when you're new guy, you know, but
Yeah.
it's fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Wiesman out of Mankato,
Yeah.
they do that. They have daily runs. And I have a friend who drives for them. They're tanker boats.
Yeah.
And what he does is he takes off in the evening.
Yeah.
And then he's back home by 3 or 4 a.m. And then the next day, 2 or 3 in the afternoon, he takes off.
Yeah.
But he's home every night.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I hope you find something.
Yeah.
Likewise. You take care.
Thanks for coming in.
Oh,
I live up in Chicago, kind of over down in Mankato.
that would be a haul, yeah.
So, it's, I just saw it on the program on the website, they said, why you don't like yeah.
That's a percentage. Yeah, what happens is you take the driver's test.
Yeah, they go out there and find out all
And
the
your skill, your percentage is set to your skill and your experience. Wherever you are. So what happens is the truck, what the truck generates over the course of your week, you do a percentage of what the truck generates. You know, so if you do 3,000 miles and you're at 3,000 hours, you're going to have about 5,000 miles.
Yeah.
Say you were at 27%.
Yeah.
Which is always
You probably did a good job on the last race.
driving primarily this time of year. Driving primarily Illinois, Iowa, Nebraska, Indiana.
Yeah.
Pretty much Memphis.
Yeah, beautiful. I scared to have Jenny's blood. I mean,
That's generally Minnesota, very
that's
a little bit in Iowa,
They don't come to.
mostly 95% is depending where the construction is. We did a lot of work over that steep behind Minnesota last year,
Hey, let's go on.
which was only about 35 miles from the Kansas City Bears and were able to go home and on that job.
The driver?
Yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes that's a good thing when you're a truck driver. Get home.
I did my test.
With our old
Seven fast. Double, triple, and hammer. Just go to the 4 minutes and 7 seconds. The lady was like, hey, good job. Right, yeah, just everything on the test were bumper.
Pardon me.
That's good.
No, well, I'm down vacation.
Well, you wanna get it before you beat
But I can give you an address. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, just mail it to me there. Yeah, and I'll talk to the owner once. Alright, what's the answer? I'm Jay. Nice to meet you. Alright, you take care.
I got one more.
Might as well. Yeah, it's gonna be my gloves.
hopefully we'll be there by 3:15, but if I'm not, they may have to go back to school for like 20 minutes, half hour. So I just want to let you know, I'm not sure. Just in case. Thank you. Me? I'm in my 13th now. But I have to be here for 20 hours a week, 2 months. Do that. That's just to do the full time thing. No, I have a construction company. I'm a surgeon. Good work. That's when I started flying, but I'm good enough hours to help with it, so I'm doing that. Why as much as I can, I guess. So, I don't think it's very hard. It's the year and probably some carriers built in that extra still didn't work. Well, some of them do, yeah, most of them now. So, but if they do require
Just make sure we can pull the table off for you. Alright, there's that. Then I'll make an announcement. Josh will come in and get everything else. Do you need like napkins or anything? You're all set.
I got that.
Morning.
Afternoon.
Hey, what do you do?
Afternoon, whatever it is now.
Yeah, somewhere close to that, huh?
How's it going?
Long time no see.
Right?
How you been?
Good, and you?
Oh, pretty good.
Maybe you gotta have everything. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
Are we able to do a PowerPoint with this too?
yeah.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do is, there's gonna be students in Hudson watching, so they may be texting this phone. So if
Okay.
you see a message pop up on here, that would be one of them asking a question. And then, let's see. Are you just going basically straight off the PowerPoint?
Yeah.
So what I'll do is I'll just put this here. So then they'll see the computer screen as opposed to the camera. Here, we'll put that right back here.
I got two of them here.
There's two screens.
Yeah. Backing up.
And then if you could, just make sure that you're within a good distance of the camera so that the microphone
Backing up.
picks you up so you can hear you. There should be about 14 people.
Yeah, that's okay. How far are you?
Huh?
How far are you?
I mean, if you could stay like stay like in this kind of general area here.
Okay. Yeah, I'll speak a little louder.
Anything comfortable hugging distance of the.
As a computer.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, you're good to go.
I just gotta get that PowerPoint up here. That's it. You guys jump on some pizza if you want. You don't have to wait for me to invite you. You want to grab some? Get it while it's hot. Be shy. I'm not taking any with me. So. Thank you. I'll get rolling while you guys are eating. Do a little bit of talking here. I gotta quick PowerPoint and a little video to go through. Let me start off. My name is Dale Flotta. I'm an operations manager at ABF Freight. ABF Freight is a local LTL company, less than truckload company. Anybody know the difference between truckload and less than truckload? Okay, the operations of it. Truckload, in a general synopsis, a truckload will be a truck that backs up to a customer's dock. They'll load it up, they drive across country to the next customer's dock, and then they unload it. That's kind of it in a nutshell. Yep. So an LTL is we'll back up to a customer's dock, pick up one skid, go to another customer's dock, pick up another skid, and then so on and so forth till we get a full trailer, come back to the service center, unload that freight, and then load it in light freight going in the same direction to the different parts of the country. So like stuff going east or west or whatever, we'll load it up with different trailers and then head it down the road that way. So that's kind of a real quick synopsis of what an LTL and truckload difference is. I'm going to start off with a quick little video. Is the sound on?
You have any handouts?
Yes, right here. Doesn't look like the sound is on, huh? Well,
It's down on the right.
Yeah, let's say on the far right corner.
far right corner. Ah, there it is. Ain't coming up.
Need sound?
Yeah.
Can't have sound, we're doing our own voiceover.
It's not.
Sound or subtitles?
See, is it this one?
Yep.
Let's go from current slide. Oop, scroll it. There we go. Well, it's taking a long time to load because the mouse does not want to cooperate.
That's the inside of the truck at night.
There you go. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
My story is pretty simple. It's still being written. I love where it's going. That's my son. My wife. It's springtime and it reminds me of new beginnings, new choices. My name is James. I really never knew much about what I wanted out of life. Usually by the time I figured something out, the path was turned in another direction. Looking back, it was mostly on me. I know what I want now. More time with my family, my friends. More time teaching my son how to hit a curveball, even though he's only 7. And a stable career with a respected company that gives me the opportunity to grow and advance. One thing I never thought would happen was me becoming a professional driver. Like every industry in America, things in this industry have changed over time. As new generations enter the workforce, there's a blending of different backgrounds, experiences, and perspectives. They teach us some things, and we teach them a few things too. I'm looking forward to this new season, the new challenges it will bring. I have more focus, more in my life to think about. Right now, I have to go teach my son to keep his eye on the ball all the way to the goal. If you're interested in joining the ABF Freight team, please contact ABF Freight at abf.jobs to learn more.
All right. What do you think of the video? Short, sweet, gets to the point. Kind of the nut behind of it is you get to be home every day. You're not going to be sleeping in a truck. You get to be home every day in your own bed. ABF is a company that's been around since 1923. This year makes the 95th year we've been in business. Our parent company, Art Best, is a $2.3 billion company. So we're very large. So we got the financial backing to do what we need to do as an LTL carrier. We're one of the nation's largest LTL carriers. We have a resource-rich infrastructure that we can reach globally. So in other words, for our customers need to send something overseas, we can take care of it for them. We can do it all in-house through our parent company. The leading edge technology, we got a company that works for our parent company. It's called ABT, Art Best Technologies. They're always forward thinking. They're 5 to 8 years out on what the industry is going to be doing and what programs we need and how we need to move things. So we're constantly looking for better ways to go through. Got about 11,000 full-time employees right now in City Guys. And we're a leader in safety cargo claims prevention as well as award winner in safety. Man, this thing doesn't want to work for me today. For a driver, to be a driver at ABF, you got to be 21 years of age. You like to have 1 year verifiable experience. Obviously, we're not going to have that here. So what we got in place is a thing called the Driver Development Program or Driver Finishing School. So after you actually get your CDL hard card, your driver's license with the endorsements, the doubles, triples, and hazmat tanker endorsements, we'll bring you in and have you work one-on-one with one of our certified trainers for up to 4 weeks. Make sure you fully understand all our equipment, electronics, or the tractors and stuff that we use. Once you complete that, you take an ABF road test, and then you become what's called on the list, which is a union member. That's when you become on the union list, seniority list. Okay. You have to have a good, stable work record, a good, safe driving record to the DMV records, an ability to pass a DOT pre-employment drug tests and physicals. Any questions on that so far?
4 weeks of training. Do you pay for that?
Yes. Yep.
What's the pay rate for that?
Pay is going to be about $20 an hour right now while you're doing the training.
Okay.
Once you complete the ABF road test, when you're on the list, it's $24.99 an hour. Anything over 8 hours a day is paid in overtime. So you don't have to reach your 40 or 60 or whatever anybody else is doing. It's 8 hours a day. So a little bit about the benefits of the ABF. Wages are union scale. That's by contract. So that's the $24.99 is top scale right now. We have a program going on right now. We're bringing in people waiving probationary period and putting them right at top scale right away. So once you get employed and go through the training, you're at top scale with no probationary period right away. Retirement is provided through the multi-employer pension fund. Life insurance is provided through the multi-employer plan. You get 5 sick days per contract year. They actually renew every January 1st. Every January 1st, you get 5 paid sick days for the next year. All paid holidays, so your 4th of July, Thanksgiving, all those are all paid. Your major holidays. Vacations, you can get up to 5 weeks. Starts off at 1 week after 1 year, 2 weeks after 2 years, and it goes 5 weeks and 15, so on. Medical. This is a key one. How many sick of paying for medical insurance? Just just yell out what kind of money do you pay for insurance per month?
$1,800 a month.
$1,800 a month. What else? Buddy? Some of them I've heard anywhere from $150 a week to like $1,800 a month. That's your paying. What kind of deductible do you have with that $1,800 a month?
Pardon?
So what kind of deductible do you have with that $1,800 a month?
I think it's $3,000 per person per year.
Per year, right? Per person per year.
Yeah, so that's another $9,000.
So every time you go to the doctor, you still got to put money out of your pocket, right? Well, with a union and a contract with ABF, you get full medical coverage for you and your family. That's health, vision, and dental. No out-of-pocket cost to you whatsoever, and a $400 copay total. Where else have you heard that? Exactly. There are companies that can come in here and talk about it. They'll pay $85,000 a year to run their trucks up and down the road, go from here to California and back. Only thing I ask is you sit and actually put the numbers on paper and figure out exactly what you're going to make. Because you may get in that truck and be able to run, but you have to run every waking legal hour you can. So in other words, they're going to have loads for you, and you may have to pay for lease of your truck, insurance on your truck, fuel in your truck, your operating costs. You got to heat when you're out on the road. Then you got to still pay for your health insurance, cover your family. I've had a lot of guys that have come over to me and start working for me are saying after they were promised this, yeah, they made that, running like crazy, sleeping in a truck, but after it's all said and done, their take home is about $45,000. Through ABF, our average guy right now is taking home $65,000 to $70,000 a year, take home, and your family insurance and stuff is already covered. So it's a pretty good system. We kind of like to put it in the fact that we all have to work together to service customers. It's not easy work. It's hard work. But working together, we can get it done. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to make sure you don't have to worry about things on the side. Make sense? Any questions on that at all?
What's the average kind of like daily hours? Because obviously
Right now we're running about 9.5 hours a day.
Okay,
guys.
so you can probably get a little overtime every day almost.
Yeah. Yep. I'm looking at this current time right now. I'm looking for about 5 qualified guys to go. Our guys right now average about 9.5 hours a day. I got guys that work because we have a one seniority list, meaning everything we do in our facility is all on one seniority list. We bid twice a year, every 6 months. That includes dock work, yard work, and street work, driving work. Okay, it's all local. It's within 100 air miles of the service center here in Eagan. So it's all basically the Twin Cities that we pick up and deliver at. Okay, one seniority list means I have guys that bid. I have a guy that's right now, he's in his 25th year with ABF, and he only wants to work the dock. He bids a midnight shift on the dock. And he'll come in at midnight, work the dock, and he'll go home at 3, 4 in the afternoon. Go home, takes him to take a nap, and go back to work. It's his prerogative. We got the work for him. I'll let him work. So there's plenty of opportunities to do that. The other thing is on all our systems and all our bids, we guarantee that you're going to have 2 days off, the same consecutive days. In other words, you're not going to have to take a Tuesday off and then Thursday off, and that's your weekend. Just follow what I'm saying? It'll be a Wednesday, Thursday. It'll be a Saturday, Sunday. It'll be a Sunday, Monday, that kind of thing. You're going to have 2 consecutive days off to be with your family. Okay? On those days off, if you want to work, you can sign up to work. Then when you come in and work on those days off, we call you in to work. On your 6th day of work, you'd get paid the whole thing at time and a half. And your 7th day of work, it'd be all double time. Those major holidays I was talking about, if you sign up to work on, let's say we work somebody Friday on Thanksgiving, it's a paid holiday. You'll get paid 8 hours holiday paid to work for the holiday. And then you come in and work, that's double time. So for those 8 hours you come in and work, you actually get triple pay. So there's a lot of potential to make good money.
How old is this contract?
And we just ratified it this year. So we're good for the next 5 years. And then there's the COLA, we call it a COLA, cost of living increase every year. It varies a little bit. It's not standard across the board, and it goes anywhere from 20 to 50 cents a year. It goes up. So, but there is a cost of living increase every year on that contract. Any other questions?
How new is the equipment?
Let's see. We got 600 Kenworths we just bought last year. We're gonna have 600 Max that we're getting this year. But how we usually do it is once the road equipment, because all the new ones will go onto the road right away. Once they hit about 200,000 to 300,000, they'll start downgrading them into the city, and then once they hit about 800,000, then we get rid of them.
Are they all automatic?
Nope. We're about a 50-50 mix right now. You do have to be qualified in the standard transmission. That's a good question. Anything else? All our application process is done online. We don't have any paper apps at all. So if you go to this website, www.abf.jobs, it'll ask you a few short questions, your address, that kind of stuff. It'll bring up the number of jobs in your area. And you can pick if you want to go somewhere else or anything. So that the application process isn't just for the Eagan facility. It could be anywhere in the country. So if you're not looking to stay in Minnesota and you want to apply somewhere else, if they have an opening, it will be on that webpage. Okay. Yes, sir.
Do they pay the same everywhere you go to, like we go across the country?
Yeah, it's a contract.
Oh.
Yep, it's done through a contract, so yes. Any other questions?
Except you would lose your seniority if you went from state Egan to Phoenix, correct?
How that works is if I hire you on an Egan, and then we decide to go do it, if you wanted to do a transfer, the first thing that needs to happen is the service center manager in Egan and the transfer to the service center manager in, say, Phoenix. They have to get together, talk, and agree that we can switch you over. You would keep your seniority for the company. So in other words, for your vacation, you would keep that, but you would come in at the bottom of the list down there.
For the bids.
For the bids, for everything else, yeah. So wherever you come in at, that's where you would start working up the list at that new service center. It's only fair when you think about it. If you're number 20 in our list, and the guy from Phoenix wants to transfer up here, and he's number 6 up there, you wouldn't want him to come in and bump you down, right? So that's just kind of the way. Keep it all fair across the board. The driver finishing program that we have, the last couple of times I've had Mike here. He's one of our driver trainers. I couldn't bring him in because of the weather we had. We're kind of behind the 8 ball. I couldn't bring him in today, but he's a good guy to talk to because he really stresses how there's not a lot of pressure on you at the very beginning. Okay, you're not going to get hired on. I'm not going to hand you a set of keys and a clipboard and say go to work. We want to make sure you're trained right. We want to make sure you're comfortable in your job. And then Mike, the guy that's riding right next to you, he's got to be comfortable riding with you on the roads. And until he's comfortable with you doing the job, then you're still in training. That's all I'm saying. He's going to evaluate it within the first week of the training. That very first week, he'll take you and evaluate your skills. He'll take you out in the yard, have your split sets, build sets, the doubles and the pups. He'll have you back to the dock a bunch of different ways. He'll have you drive through cones. He'll do all kinds of stuff to test your abilities. And then to put it mildly, where you suck the most, that's where he's going to start. Because that's where he wants to build you. So to get your capabilities and everything up to standard, up to where he feels comfortable with you, where the company's going to feel comfortable with you. So at the point when I hand you a manifest with a set of keys, you know exactly what to do, where to go, how to react, everything. There is no question about it. Any other questions?
You guys doing line hauls?
Yes, we do. We do line hauls. Again, it's a bid position.
Yep.
So we very rarely hire anybody from outside to go right into line haul because there's a lot of city guys that want that job. We have 8 guys out of the Egan terminal over here that do line haul. I think the youngest guy in there has been with the company about 12 years. The oldest guy has been there 33 years. So the average age of the guys that we have in our service center is 58 years old. So in the next 8 to 10 years, we're going to have probably better than half our board retired. Roll over. So the other thing, you're looking at companies, regardless of what company it is, look at their retention record. Because that's going to tell you a lot about how the company treats you. The guys that like to work for the company and like their job are going to stick around, right? The guys that don't get treated very well are going to start looking for something else very shortly. So take a look at retention. I don't care what company it is. Get online, look at some of the comments online, take a look at the retention of the company. That'll tell you a lot about what the company, how they treat you. What else you got? Hopefully the guys out in Hudson can see me or hear me okay. Making it too easy on me.
They haven't answered any questions, so.
Yeah, they haven't asked any anyway, not that I saw. Got a question for you. We don't have any tankers in our fleet, tanker trailers. Why do you think we have to have tanker endorsements on our license?
Hazmat.
Well, it's hazmat, that's part of it.
You have that little tank inside the trailer.
Totes, yep. The bulk containers are totes. Go to the DOT, if you're hauling totes inside a trailer, you gotta have a tanker endorsement. Bit of trivia for you. Why do you have to be 21 years old? What's that?
Travel out of state. Interstate.
That's one. Yep. That's one.
Across state line. Is that what you said?
Yeah, travel interstate, yeah. The other one is hauling hazmat.
How long have you worked for ABF?
I've been with ABF, this I'm coming up in 23 years. I can honestly say, in 23 years, I've never complained about what I do, never complained about what I made or about the company. I can go to work knowing that I got something to accomplish, and when I go home, I can feel good about what I did for the day. That's kind of what we're looking for, isn't it? Kind of want to feel good about what you're doing, right? I do have some flyers here for anybody who's interested. Still looks
All
like
of this no touch?
What's that?
Is all of this no touch?
No, nope. In the LTL world, you're going to be handling freight.
Handle it all?
Yep. Yep. Like I say, based on the seniority, you know, with the full-time seniority list, the guy that's been there the longest is going to get his choice of start times and their job he wants to do. The guy that's brand new and just be there is going to have to work his way up, so he's going to get what we call the least desirable shift. The bottom guy on your seniority list right now has a Friday through Tuesday midnight bid. So he's got a 40-hour guarantee, but he works Friday through Tuesday on the dock. He basically works forklift, unloading, loading trailers. At 8:30 in the morning, at the end of his shift, if he wants to go driving, you can say, "Yeah, you got anything for me? I'll take a volume run or something," and you can get him out driving for a couple hours. So the opportunity for overtime, like you're saying.
So there's a good chance you start off on the dock and being there.
Yeah, I would say there's a good chance of that. I can't say it's guaranteed that's what's going to happen because it all depends on what the guys above you want to do. You know what I mean?
No, I guess as far as driving too, is there just all hours of the day as far as shift wise? You're working, you know, midnights on driving truck too then, or
Nope.
mostly during the day?
No, most driving is mostly done during the day. Most of our driving's done when most of the customers are open,
Sure.
so during normal business hours. So even on the weekends, it's, we're open 24/7, but on the weekends we got more yard and dock work of the freight coming in from out of town, getting it ready for Monday morning than we do actually doing the. We have every once in a while we have city P&D stuff to pick up delivery to do on the weekend. But according to the contract, that's considered premium work. So if we have any driving work in the weekend, you're going to get paid an overtime rate to go do it.
So what's the pay for dock work?
Same thing. It's
Same.
paid. It's paid the same across the board.
So you get paid whether you're
Yep.
offloading trucks or driving?
Yep. 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 Exact same pay. Whether you're in the yard, on the dock, or out city driving, it's the same exact hourly wage, and it's overtime after 8.
And you're trained on all the equipment too,
Yep.
correct?
That's correct.
Still sign-on bonus for you guys?
Yep. Right now we have a $5,000 signing bonus. We have to sign a waiver guaranteed at least 2 years worth of work, but haven't had any issues with that yet at all. But it's $5,000, and at this point we are paying that in the day you start.
So it's over 2 years then, stretched out?
Yeah, 2 year. Well, you're signing the thing saying you will work for 2 years,
okay.
but we're paying you up front.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to give you a $5,000 check minus the taxes, so it ends up being like $3,250 something right in there after taxes. But you get that check the first day you start. Gotta love taxes, don't you?
That question.
Yes, sir.
So let's say about some other different company pay for our driving. And then we get a license, driver's license, I don't have to work. I still have to pay that company back. So you get, and let's say if I go with you guys, would you really work on company?
Not that company, no. We would give you the $5,000 bonus, so you could use that to pay it back if you want, but we wouldn't pay that company and give you the bonus. No. Sorry. Anything else?
Do you have to have your endorsements by hire date type of deal, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, full CDL and endorsements at a higher date.
Okay.
Yep.
Everyone that's working there has a CDL.
Everyone's
Full
qualified the same. Same endorsements, same, yep, everybody. Yep.
I'm just trying to remember the last time I was there. So basically, doubles and triples, you really, for the most part, won't use that too much. Remember you saying if you're doing city work, you're not really going doubles, or are you?
For the most part, no.
Okay.
No, you wouldn't be pulling doubles in the city. We do it once in a while if we have 2 trailers to bring to a certain customer or something, we'll pull, but it's not. I could see I'd probably see that maybe done 4 times a year. Otherwise, it's single pups or single vans going on. So I got a question. It says, if I go to work as a dock worker at age 18, would I have some seniority to drive when I turn 21? Unfortunately, no, because if you go to work as a dock worker, it's called a casual dock worker. And at 18 years old, you come in as a casual worker, which would be on call. Once you get fully qualified, then you become a senior on the seniority list. I can spit that out right. So you wouldn't be on the seniority list at 18 as a casual dock worker. You'd have to be fully qualified to be on the seniority list. So hopefully that answered the question. Yes,
What
sir.
if you have over 10 years of experience on LP, on the farm broker, on the Raymond, and all that, you know, the double jack, the single jack, and all that, load the truck? Would your signing bonus be increased or just stay the same?
It stays the same. It's the same. It's just this general signing bonus period for new hires, regardless of experience. That has actually just changed recently. We used to have it to where you had to have at least 1 year verifiable driving experience before you get the sign-on bonus. So we got that dropped down to where now you guys can have it as well as a new hire, but it doesn't increase at all for experience.
What kind of equipment you got used on load and load truck?
It's all forklifts, 5,000 pound forklifts, Nissans, Toyotas, They're propane fueled. Yep, I got that one.
Okay, good.
Yep. I think that's the only one that came across. Or is there much more?
No, that should be the only one.
Anything else?
What's a checker driver?
A city driver. They call it checker drivers because the checker's like the dock worker side of it. And the driver.
So you come back, offload your truck, go back out again?
If you're a bid city driver, most times you're gonna come back, you're gonna come in, grab your load, go out pedal, park it to the dock for the dock crew to handle, grab another load, go out pedal, come back, fill up the day.
So you probably making multiple back to the terminal?
Oh yeah, yeah. Most of our guys do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like one truck is gonna take you all day down, what type of deal?
No, we do have some runs that are like that. We'll have a 53-foot van going up to Rogers. We'll have it full. He'll go out that way pedal, and then he'll come back full, and it's a good 8-hour day. You know. But yeah, for the most part, it's keep rolling around.
How many bids do you have right now?
We have 63 on our senior list, so 63 bids.
How many drivers?
Driving bids, just driving bids. 42, I think it is.
So the majority of those bids are
Yeah.
driving?
Yeah, we definitely have more on the street driving than we do in the dock.
Then you
But
can
you can still do.
Yep. It's a combination board, so you can. There's going to be times you're coming in, like if you're a city driver and you have a bid start time at 8 o'clock in the morning. You may come in at 8 o'clock in the morning and you have to finish loading your route before you take off. There's going to be times like that. It all depends on how late the freight gets in and what kind of workload we have in the docks.
You do have over the road, but that's seniority based. Contract versus
Right.
deal.
If we have a position, if
That's
we
a
have,
terminal, right?
yep, so they either turn, like, go up and turn Fargo and come back, so you'd still come back every day.
Yeah.
Or you'd go to Chicago, spend the night and come back, or Kansas City, spend the night and come back. Get 10 hours off. Yeah, if we have a position open up on the road, the first thing we do is offer it to anybody in the city. See if anybody wants to sign up to go on the road.
Yep.
And that's typically where they come from, but if for whatever reason nobody in the city wants to leave, then we would open it up to outside hire.
Okay. So there's no like length of time. If you're working there a year or something like that could open up, you can go to bid it and you can get it for.
Yep.
Now when that.
Once you're on the seniority list, so after you're done doing your 4-week training or whatever, and something opens up, you're on the seniority list, you can bid it. You can sign to take it.
No, as far as like there's such a bid stuff like that twice a year. So when that second bid comes up, somebody above you wants that, they can just bump you off of that then.
Nope.
Okay.
Once you're on the road, you can't be bumped off the road.
Okay.
You're on the road at that point.
Oh, okay. And so there's no bank to
Correct.
from the road.
That's correct. Yep.
I guess for city routes, then if you have one for say the first 6 months of the year, and somebody above you that that next bid wants it, and they can.
We bid start times, not routes.
Okay, well.
So if you were a guy that constantly run out in Rogers, let's say,
Yeah.
and you got a good rapport with the customers and stuff, I'm going to keep you out there. You bid a start time, not a.
Okay, well I guess can somebody senior you bump you off of that
They can
start
bump you off a start time.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. And then, like I said, that's every 6 months.
Yeah.
So they go through like the bidding process and start with the guy who's been there the longest and work all the way down the list.
Top pick what's
Yep.
left type deal.
Yep. Any other questions? All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you for your time. There's more pizza here. Eat it up. Like I said, I'm not taking it with me, so. card.
Thank you, sir. And sign-up bonus is like one till end of March or beginning of March?
The sign-in bonus,
Is that
end of March.
Okay, so it's to the end of the quarter.
Yep.
Sneak up behind the traffic. It's hard to drive. Question for you. Do you guys reimburse for hazmat endorsement fees every year or every 2 years? That's just out of our pocket.
According
It's
to
not
the way
too
we got set up in the
expensive.
contract, you just have to be responsible for maintaining it. We do pay for the physicals.
Every 2 years. It's $100 every 2 years.
I did mine in Alabama, it's $40.
What hazmat?
Yeah.
$100 every 2 years.
That's the cost of the fingertips, right?
Yeah, it's the
Credit
whole
cards like
shebang.
$80.
It's the whole shebang.
Yeah.
I already have doubles, triples, tankers.
Government's gotta get their fingers in your pocket.
That was
Right.
$2.50.
You go do those?
Yeah, each one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was telling my girl, less than $10, they can get a couple more.
$5 you can get two of them.
Yeah, tell them to go do the double.
Those are only 25 too, right? It's a hazard one that's like 50.
I ain't even
We just gonna go with it.
I went, it took me 4 minutes and 7 seconds. The lady was like, good job. It was all
Yeah,
in
they
bumper
play
bumper.
like who they, right?
Yeah.
Everything's
And if
in
you
bumper
want, if you talk to Josh, he has copies.
Like I went,
Manual.
bank, I just take,
You pass it, you ain't even said it.
no, the bank, I take.
I was just in there.
I
like,
take the whole.
Yep, you bet.
Double blue. So I feel a double blue. Whole lot of them is not
Look
make.
out to the name of it.
It's free, it's free to
Please
take.
check, but if you pass, if you pass,
$2.50.
you
Right.
Thank you, Neil.
You bet.
See you guys later.
I just don't like garbage. Well, that's what they're called.
That's what they are.
Yeah, it's called garbage.
Is that pepper or is that tomato? Oh, yeah.
So, if there's a question that's on this